Shalom, shalom. I wanted to read a scripture real quick before I hit the road, and I can discuss it while I'm driving. And the scripture is just an example. Ye have said, Matthew 5:27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. All right, so now that I've read that, what I want to discuss is the sin, when we rebuke somebody for sinning. First off, I always tell y'all, stay the fuck off of YouTube if you want to rebuke somebody. Give them a fucking phone call. Find a way to get in touch with them. And when you rebuke them, you have to rebuke them in a way that would help them understand what they've done wrong. Because what Yahushua did, or what Yahushua was bringing out in this chapter, pretty much the whole Matthew, well, a big point in Matthew, the 5th chapter, is the sins that we do in our mind before we actually physically sin. So when somebody sins, we have a bad tendency to rebuke the sin as if that sin, the physical act of it, is where it started. So we're rebuking the symptom like it's the actual disease, and it's the other way around. A physical sin is a symptom of the spiritual disease that they have. So in other words, just like taking that example, right? A man that look after a woman to lust after, now you lust after your woman, right? When you look at a woman and you proceed to lay down with her, you're lusting after her. You want to fuck. But when you look after a woman and you don't even know her, you just look at her and say, I want to fuck. You don't know what she got, a husband or what. You've already done, something wrong. And that goes into that shit that we do in the hood. Oh, would you smash? Don't do that. She can get it. No, don't do that. Don't do none of that. Because you really don't know if a woman married or not. And you're starting the process of sinning. So when you lay down with a woman that's married, it starts with you automatically looking after a woman to lust after her. Now as a man, yeah, of course we like women, we want to, whatever, but you have to understand how profound it is when you lay down with a woman. That's your wife. So that means not only, yeah, you look at her, you want to fuck, but what happens after you fuck? Now y'all married, but y'all don't got nothing in common. Y'all don't got nothing. Y'all totally incompatible. And then now you have to either put her away or, she commit adultery and you put her away. It becomes messy. So what the scripture's saying is you have to avoid messy from within. Now, how that affects what I'm talking about in this video is because when we rebuke a brother, we look at what they do and we tell them, hey, what you did was off. But a lot of times you don't go into, you don't make them understand, so they walk away not better than they were before. Now they're going to mentally sin the same way. They're just not going to physically do it. You know, a perfect example, whores. You know, we go to camp, oh, you black women, Hispanic women, you sleep around. Not that they're the only ones that do it, by the way, but, you know, we only concerned with our women. When we go out there at camp, we call women all types of whores and sluts. I mean, I don't. My camp don't, but I'm saying, in general, we do. But, and we're not always wrong. In fact, most of the time, we're on point. In a literal, according to the letter of the law. But what you really should do, you really should explain to these whores why they shouldn't be whores. What inconvenience, how do they fuck up their own life by being whores? You know, you go into the science of it. You know, you have when a man and a woman lay down, that woman's body is now changing. Her DNA is changing to mold to that man's DNA. You know, I forgot what you call it, but you know, I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, there's a bonding that's taking place when a man and woman lay down together. And when we just lay down and when a woman lay down with multiple men, now you can understand, damn, her body's trying to mold to this one and she's sleeping with that one. So that causes an entire scientific malfunction, basically, in her spirit and in her body. Because now what's happening is her body is confused, and then her mind becomes confused. And that's why you got women that, when they sleep with all these men, first off, like, you know, when a woman loses her virginity, most times, if that relationship doesn't work out, or if the guy just basically was playing her just to get some ass, that hurts her a lot. That hurts, that's very painful to them. So imagine when they numb their mind to that pain, but lend their body and still do what they do. And then, of course, you got the possibility of pregnancy. You got the STDs. You know, so you have to help a woman who's promiscuous to understand why she's damaging herself psychologically and spiritually by sleeping around. Now, if they continue to do so, then it's all for you. But, you know, we're sitting here name calling, and at the end of the day, listen, you are right. Most of these women are whores, but they're whores because they've been misled or misunderstand or don't know, okay, what you have is something that's supposed to be treated as gold and it's precious. And you don't give it to, you know, the person you give it to has to be the one, so-called, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Or at least like your husband that you're with for the rest of your life. And if you notice, a lot of women, especially the ones that sleep around, they have their favorites. They have the one guy that can always hit it. No matter what, they get into another relationship. A lot of these women, they got one guy that can always come back home, basically. You're going to play second fiddle if you try to wife up one of these women now. If you're even second fiddle. Because I guarantee you there's a guy that has more of a hold on her spirit than you do. Unless you're the one that has that hold on her spirit. Because that's the world we live in. That women give it up so easily now, and they don't understand. And they think that when a man speaks against a woman sleeping around, and it is true, a lot of times we're only doing it because we don't want a woman with a high body count. But what we got to look at it as, it's not just a body count, it's a spirit count. How many spirits is your spirit bonding to? Or does your spirit look at as, okay, you know, this is a whole nother person that I'm bonding to? And I don't want to make this video about that, but that's just basically, you know, like another example is somebody that talks a lot. Talking a lot isn't a sin, but it is fucking annoying, and the scriptures speak against it. You know, and you have to show a motherfucker that talks a lot why their excessive talking is inconvenient, and let them understand, hey, listen, would you want another you in the room? A motor mouth motherfucker. Nigga that like to just talk. Interrupt brothers when they talk. Speak when they're not supposed to speak at camp. Just a motherfucker that just talk a lot, right? You got to make them understand the concept. Not just, oh, you're talking a lot and it's annoying. No, you got to tell them, listen, according to scripture, you're not supposed to talk a lot because you look like a fucking fool. You know, when motherfuckers speak a lot, and it's just like the law. Anybody that's ever had any issues where they had to go to court, you should know. If you watch the fucking RICO trial, the Young Thug YSL trial, motherfuckers talking is what got them into that shit. Stop talking so goddamn much. I used to be very talkative. Now I'm not at all. People think I'm quiet now, which basically I am now. And you know what happens when you're quiet? Now people are drawn to you as who's this mystery man? But when you talk a lot, you're giving a lot of sacrifices of fools. Because I'm telling you, a lot of motherfuckers talk and they don't look around and see who they're talking in front of. You know, and that hurts them. And depending on who you're sitting with, it might hurt the rest of them. It might hurt everybody you sitting in, because then they'd be like, oh, so all these motherfuckers are co-signing this shit. So the point that I'm trying to bring out is, when you rebuke a brother or sister, the way you rebuke should be affected by, part of your rebuke should be rebuking the mindset that caused the sin. Because unless a sin is only a symptom of something deeper. So if you rebuke them for what they did, that's one thing, but then you got to also go deeper into the sin to understand what makes them think that it's okay to talk a lot, or what makes a whore think it's okay to give her body to any man. You know, what makes these women think it's okay to go out in the streets half naked? You know, you got to tell them, listen, y'all are the ones that are driving rapes up, because you got men out here that can't control themselves like I could. You know, I understand that I'm not entitled to your body, so I'm not gonna be the one to do that to you. But you are pushing out that sexual energy, and it's gonna come back. It might not get you, it might get somebody you care about. So many women, I forgot what the number was, but I think more women than not have been sexually assaulted in their lives. Don't you think that the over-sexualization of women as a whole has something to do with it? So y'all walking around half naked and don't expect the man to look, or don't expect the man to feel a certain way. And then, you know, again, you got a motherfucker like me that might just keep it to himself, but you got another sick motherfucker out here walking behind you, ready to knock you upside your head and take you. So, you know, you have to really, like I said, man, to get people to understand. A lot of times, most people are not gonna get it. Most people don't care about spirituality or nothing like that. But you're gonna get somebody that really has you know, maybe they had parents that told them the same things, and then you just brought it home with a more intelligent point. Like, oh shit, I never looked at it like that. My parents did say, oh yeah, I'm precious and all that, but I never understood. I never knew, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Because in 2024, you got women like Cardi B that seem to think that Offset losing her is a big thing. I'm losing a woman that I'm smashed and everybody has seen her naked. Like, not to talk about that man's wife, but you know, I mean, shit, she was naked laying on a pile of money in the video for what's that white guy that sounded like Drake? I forgot, but you know, it's like everybody done seen your wife naked, so like, how precious is she? You know, and like I said, part of our rebuke, I'm not saying that we should just completely ignore, but you have to understand a sin is a symptom. That's it. There's something deeper going inside the mind of a person that sins. If you see a man is frequently playing that would you hit it game, then you might have a pervert on your hands that has to be rebuked, and yo, you got to send that motherfucker to some special sex camp to deal with his sexual demons or some shit. I don't know what the fuck, how you help a pervert, you know? But you know, you have sexual perversions out here that are in the mind. Not even just sexual perversion, every type of perversion. Every type of perversion. You know, and the talk too much demon, like, you have a whole bunch of fucking demons out here. And what we as priests and prophets, we have to get these demons up out of people. And part of it is making the person understand, listen, your demon is causing you to sin. You're not just sinning because you a fucked up nigga. Let's go into your sin, because you're otherwise a good brother. Let's say, like, yo, I don't know, let's say you're a bad brother. You're not brotherly, right? What inside your mind makes you think it's acceptable to treat the brotherhood like this? And you'd be surprised, you might really get an answer, and somebody might be like, yeah, man, you know, that's just the way brothers have been, you know, around me since I've been in the truth. Well, you're not around that type of brotherhood no more. You're around brothers that care. So, you know, this is different. This arrangement is different from what you was used to. You know, I mean, I could go on for days about it, you know, but I don't want to belabor the point. But, you know, when you rebuke anybody, consider that person has something in their mind that caused them to go astray, and that's the real demon that you have to attack, not just the physical sin that they did. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.